everyone, my friends in YouTube land. Thank you for coming back and watching my video. I decided today that I would do a glimpse into my high school art life. A little bit of a disclaimer, I did not draw everything in this book. Some of this was a book that my friend Gracie and I primarily passed back and forth to each other. And we would alternate doing little things, and also friends from church or high school also are featured in here. Some of them are people I still have relationships with, some of them are not. So let's get cracking and you guys can see. Well, I'm a little scared, to be honest, of what we're gonna find in here. I haven't looked in this book in quite a long time. Just to give you guys a little bit of insight on this. I graduated in 2006, and most of this stuff was done in freshman year. I think I did go to Bible college in 2010 or 2011, and I think there's one drawing that I did like on the plane. I just picked up this sketchbook because it's something that I had that I wanted to keep. But everything else in here is between 2003 and 2006, pretty much. So let's get cracking. All right. So the first few things, Gracie's doodlings, yeah. The first few things are all gonna be Gracie's. We'll skim through that. You can. All right, guys. So I'm really sorry that this turned into a voiceover, because I was having sound issues, but let's get started. Okay, so these first drawings were from Gracie. She uses a lot more color than I ever have, and she liked experimenting and stuff, where I was super rigid and wanted to make things look like what they looked like. You know, this is before I ever took any kind of art class or anything, and Gracie was very free-spirited and would just try things and use a lot of bold color, and I was always afraid to do that. So starting out now in May, we did Melissa and Gracie's artistic stuff. And here comes my first contribution, was this lovely African bull elephant that I did from my imagination, which is not something I've ever been great at. Like, I am still terrible at it. And so as you're looking at this guy, like, you know, it can use some improvement, let's just say that. It was 2003 when I drew this guy. He had a little heart tattoo on his ear, as you can see. But you know, he had personality. This next page was Kirk's page, that's Gracie's brother. A lot of people added to this. Okay, so this rose drawing was my very favorite thing that I had done at the time in 2003. Like, I drew this and I was like, I have accomplished a masterful piece of work, you know, at my 15-year-old self age. But I broke the cardinal rule, and I outlined the entire drawing, and I also tried a very shoddy version of a vignette around it with my smudging and my graphite pencil. Yeah, whatever. You could see my little unfinished Dumbo drawing, and then this is Gracie. Gracie was trying to do, I can't remember if it was fireworks or just the corn in her backyard, because at the time she had corn in her backyard. But again, bold colors that I did not do. Definitely see the difference. This next one was also Gracie, and this was fireworks, so I know what this one was. Okay, this I was also super proud of. It was also 2003. It was going towards November, like around my birthday. And I was drawing my right hand because I am left-handed, but I thought I did a pretty good job. As far as proportions, they're pretty good. I still outlined a lot. I would take forever on stuff like that to get my proportions right. Like, this drawing probably took me 2 hours, which is a little sad. But, you know, it is what it is for a 15-year-old, I suppose. This next drawing, I believe, was my friend Marley. Yep, it was Marley. She is my beautiful friend I go to church with. She's a fantastic musician and singer. And she was drawing a ballet slipper. It's funny because it has a weird like outline of a foot in it, and there's also like an elephant foot in there and stuff. Man, Marley Ray, gotta love her. Okay, so this is my first time ever using color in any of my pieces, and I was very proud of myself, but it took me a long time. Obviously, it's not hyper realistic, but this is about as realistic as I could get at the time. I sat there for hours trying to make that drawing correct. This page, I'm not sure who did this page, but there's a lot of doodles. I'm also not sure who did this. I just remember it was a guy from my high school. This is Jessica Joy's page. Jessica would always draw random little illustrated things. You know what's funny is she would never consider herself an artist, but honestly, she just makes the greatest little illustrations in the whole world. And this was December 2003. So right at the end there. Okay, this is my very first self-portrait, and I wasn't sure if it was in this book or not. I thought I may have taken it out, but I didn't, and I can't even tell you how long I worked on this thing. It's got some issues. Like, you can see, like, my proportions are okay as I'm measuring them out right now, but my hairline is a little flat. It makes me look, you know, it's just not right. The top of my head should be extended further, and my hair is super straight. I used to flat iron my hair at the time. My eyebrows are probably a little too close to my eyes right there, but other than that, the proportions are decent for somebody who had never taken any kind of drawing class or anything before. So I think it's a pretty good first portrait. That is my very first self-portrait, so I'm still decently proud of it. I'll show you guys some more recent ones at some point, but for a start, it's not too bad. Okay, so this next one is Gracie. Again, color. She was all about color. Obviously, it's an iceberg. She did a pretty good job on that one, I think. And more random doodles from Gracie. I think this one's also Gracie. It was like a swan in a waterfall, and it's very light. It's hard to see. This page, I believe, is Kristen Bromley. I'm going to have to send it to her so she can see. This was a guy named Steven I went to high school with. He liked to draw weird things. But, you know, high school. Long time ago when we were not wanting to do our work. Okay, so this is my little cousin Jim. He was a toddler at the time when I drew this of him. My proportions, as you can tell, are off. My nose, the bridge of the nose is way too large. The mouth is a little too small. But, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna knock myself too bad. Again, I had never taken any kind of classes. Proportions took me forever to learn. I'm just that person. I guess I have a thick skull or something. Not sure who did this page. I remember practicing my signature because I write like a third grader, and I've always written like a third grader, so I was trying to figure out what I wanted my signature to look like. I believe that I was my friend John trying to teach me about eyes, but I can't really remember. My friend John could actually draw quite well. This is my baby cousin Joshua deciding to write in my notebook. I thought that was super cute. He was almost 2 at the time. I believe this is Christine Gooden's page, if I remember correctly. She has a couple pages in there, so I'll have to send this to her as well. This was my first full color. Again, color's not my strong point. It's a little flat, as you can tell. It's not very well blended, but, you know, my first shot at color. I'm not super proud. I was a kid I babysat. His name was Brian. He drew that. He was about 4, or maybe he was 6. This is Jessica's little horse dancing. Jessica's little rock on guys at the end. This is me drawing my shoe in a math class, I believe. I was drawing my little Converse. We had a little winter family vacation, and they had a basketball court, so I did basketball. I drew the basketball court. This is Joshua Hill. He was a guy I went to church with. This is Connor Maroney. Yeah, Connor Maroney's page. This is me trying to draw a snake. My grandpa had a little orb with a snake head in it, and it was a diamondback, and I went to draw it and decided I didn't want to work that hard. That was Josh Higgins' page, Denise Amesqua's page. This is, I think his name was David William Hung. He used to sing, you could all see how old I am. He used to sing She Bangs. It was, what was that TV show he was on? But anybody my age, he would know. That was the same guy who did that one. And, man, all of these drawings, this feels like a million years ago. My friend David's version at drawing a friend of ours, he wanted me to draw her. So the next one is my attempt, and again, the bridge of the nose is way too long. The eyes don't have any dimension. The whole drawing is pretty flat. I remember at the time being like, this kind of looks like her, but not quite, you know what I mean? More random doodlings. I think that was us writing notes in class. This guy, I remember him, but I don't remember his name. This looks like another Jessica original. This one, oh, I really liked this drawing. It was a little fairy in a cookie jar. My friend Gracie's mom had a magnet, and I just thought it was super adorable, so I drew it. Marley Penalosa's page again, more of Gracie. And I have no idea who drew this page, but it's very Salvador Dali. So I don't know who drew that one. More of us writing in class. This is the picture that I had mentioned earlier where I was on the plane on the way to Bible college, and I drew that on the plane. So I had a little bit of education as far as art and stuff like that. I did not care about any of the background. I was really just focused on the person himself and his jeans. So yeah, things could be wrong, like his feet are a little small and the background could be, I was so lazy, the background could have had more attention paid to it. That is the end of my sketchbook. The last thing in there, some friends of ours were playing Mafia, and my friend Marley just documented us being silly. It was one of those late at night things, you know, where nothing ever makes sense, so everything's hilarious. And the last painting right there that you can see is my friend Gracie's attempt. My friend Gracie, I think it was her first attempt at watercolor. It's really beautiful and bright, like everything else she does. So yeah, guys, that was my first sketchbook. I know I sped this up because it was a 25-minute video, and I sped it up because the sound was bad anyway. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It was a weird look into my past, and it's interesting to see like where you start versus where you end up. So I hope you guys could be encouraged by that, and I will see you guys for the next video.